Night Baseball is presented by Verizon. New York Mets baseball on SNY is brought to you by Verizon. Don't miss a moment of Mets baseball on the largest, most reliable 4G LTE network, only from Verizon. By Pepsi, the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. By Long Island Railroad's Train to the Game, your ticket to the Mets. By Budweiser, still brewed the hard way, this Bud's for you. And by Geico, over 75 years of savings and service. Now, Terry Collins has spent most of the last few weeks searching for offense. Well, he found some yesterday on Memorial Day. Michael Kadire hit one in the second deck in left field. Lucas Duda almost hit one to the Shea Bridge. And nobody's hit more home runs by a shortstop than Wilmer Flores. The Mets will hope to double up on the Phillies. And a pleasant good evening, everybody, and welcome to Citi Field. Gary Cohen, Ron Darling, Keith Hernandez with you tonight as the Mets play the middle game of their series against the Phillies. Last night, or yesterday afternoon, Wilmer Flores hit one of the 3 Mets home runs. Wilmer's now hit 7 home runs. He's the first Mets shortstop ever to hit 7 before the team's 50th game of the season, and he's tied with Johnny Peralta for the most home runs by a Major League shortstop.
Well, Wilmer is right now on a pace to hit around 25 home runs in the season. A lot has been put on Wilmer's plate here. He's 23 years of age. It's the first year he's broken camp with the ball club and starting his first full season. He's hitting around 250. He's been going back and forth. I think he's really conducted himself and held himself pretty much in order, kept his confidence level up. His home runs, Garrett, is 7. 4 of them have been a men on base, a grand slam, 2 3-run shots, and a 2-run homer. He got a lot of criticism about his defense, but I tell you what, he's 23 years of age. He's just budding. If he becomes a 280, 290 hitter and hits you 20-plus home runs, that'll get your attention.
So still very much a work in progress. Meanwhile, Jacob deGrom will go back to the mound for the Mets. His last start was in question because there might have been something wrong with his shoulder. Turned out to be the best game he's ever pitched.
Well, not only with his shoulder, he had a little problem with his hip also. I'll make the argument that it was the best start by a Mets starter this year. Why? Because of his control was impeccable. He just dominated the Cardinals as he retired the last 23 in a row. And even more importantly, it was against the Cardinals, one of the best teams in all of baseball. deGrom was on top of his game.
Only the 4th time in Mets history that a pitcher had retired 23 in a row, and that streak is intact going into the game tonight, shooting for Rick Reed's club record of 28 straight batters retired. On the other side, the veteran Jerome Williams, who has been around, pitches for the Phillies.
He has been around. He's a guy that really doesn't have any pitch that kind of wakes you up. He's really struggled, as you see, on the road. The Mets hope those struggles continue.
So the Mets try and keep the good feelings going against the Phillies. It's the Mets and Phils, all of the action coming your way tonight right here on SNY. Fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the New York Mets. By Hyundai. Hyundai invites you to get in your comfort zone with the most advanced Elantra yet. Visit your Hyundai dealer today. And by Cure Auto. 25 years of saving you money. Cure Auto Insurance. Drive well. Get to Citi Field this Friday when the Mets take on the Marlins at 7:10. All fans in attendance will receive a Mets t-shirt courtesy of Goya. For tickets, visit Mets.com/Free Shirt Fridays. SNY Super Slow Motion is brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Visit them on the web at searchmercedes.com. Today's Game Changer brought to you by T-Mobile. We referenced it earlier. Jacob deGrom, only the 4th time in Mets history a pitcher's retired 23 in a row. Tom Seaver did it twice. Anthony Young, he had the 27-game losing streak, the most recent in '93, and then deGrom in his last start. What can he do for an encore? Well, you'll find out if you stick around. Mets and Phillies, first pitch coming right up.
Daniel Murphy at second. There's the star of the game yesterday.
Jacob deGrom's first pitch of the night is a strike to Ben Revere.
Eric Campbell, of course, at third base tonight. Kadire out in left. This has been a pretty steady outfield here. Lagares in center. And we're trying, and oh, there's Granderson. I knew he was somewhere. And Plawecki's behind the plate.
He's just going to have to get faster.
24th start for Plawecki behind the plate.
And the 10th for deGrom, who's ahead on Revere 0-2.
Boy, he is throwing hard tonight. Those Jeep numbers, you know them, folks. 5-4 in the year, but 10-4 in 16 starts here at Citi Field in his young career.
Allowed just one hit. The only base runner he allowed in 8 innings in his last start against the Cardinals. That hit came in the first inning off the bat of Matt Carpenter. And after that, deGrom not only got the right-hand hitters out, but more importantly the left-hand hitters, because that had been the concern for Jacob earlier in the year, is that he was struggling against the lefties, but they're now under 300 against him this year.
He's a little up with his fastball right now, even though Revere is flailing at it.
You know, he's up, Keith, but he's throwing 97 miles an hour. You know, you don't usually see him that high, or I don't.
I got to think that up and in fastball, they tried to come in that time, didn't get it there. It's going to tie him up.
Bounce something on Revere 0-2. That away.
Revere 1 for 5 yesterday, hitting .260 for the year. Freddie Galvis and Chase Utley to follow. Phillies had been doing better. They had won 8 games in an 11-game stretch, but now they've dropped their last 2. Pops him inside with a slider, 2-2.
Really, Ronnie, the last start for DeGrom was the best I've ever seen him throw.
That's
Had a
saying
really
something.
wicked brick and stuff.
Well, arguably, it was one of the most dominant games in Mets history. Only 3 other times have the Mets ever had a game pitched where a pitcher went at least 8 innings and allowed only 1 base runner. Tom Seaver did it once. John Neese did it once. And Matt Harvey did it 2 years ago against the White Sox. It was an historically splendid outing. And Revere lines one into left center, and he's got himself an opening hit.
Finally got a ball down in the strike zone. Revere, a typical left-hand hitter, likes the ball down.
So the batter retired streak ends for DeGrom where it started tonight at 23. There's the Hyundai starting lineup. Same exact lineup for Ryan Sandberg as he ran out there last night, with the exception of the pitcher.
That was a heck of an at bat by Revere.
It sure was. It was. No question.
Well, that leaves Rick Reed safe in the record books. Reed has the Mets record of 28 consecutive batters retired, set that in 1998.
I didn't get to see Rick Reed pitch, but a lot of you guys say he was like Maddox light.
That's exactly what Todd Pratt, his catcher, called him. Maddox. Poor man's Greg Maddox.
There you go.
That's the term he used. Freddie Galvis 2 for 4 last night, and he takes low and inside.
Rick Reed threw a lot like Andy for our team, Rick Anderson.
Oh, okay.
He threw a lot like him, but better, much better, a little more velocity, a lot more velocity, but the same kind of stuff, Ron.
Had that same 2-seam fastball that Cologne throws inside against the lefty. He's got a lot of strikeouts that way. Runner goes, hit and run, deflected right to Flores, and he turns it over for the double play. DeGrom got a piece of it, and it was perfectly directed to Flores for the 1-6-3.
Well, hit and run right here. Ball up the middle, deflected. I don't know if someone would have got to this in time. Let's see. That's a base hit, first and third. So very fortunate that DeGrom got the glove on the ball.
I found it very interesting. After Galvis slid in here, kind of spiked Flores and kind of asked him if he was all right. Well, Revere, sorry. Revere with the slide, spikes him.
That's part of the game.
Got him right in the ankle, but see, he reaches for him like, are you all right? You don't need to do that. Part of the game.
Ty Cobb wouldn't have said, excuse me.
Right. What happens? He slides through the bag, so his foot goes over, catches him right on the shin, ankle.
Chase Utley 2 for 3 yesterday, and DeGrom falls behind him 2-0. Utley's on the rise. Last time the Mets and Phillies played, Utley at one point slid below 100, up to 183 now. You see where he got spiked there, Flores did on that left ankle and shin. 3-0 now to Utley.
It left a mark. It ripped the sock a little bit.
Yeah, that happens.
A little different strike zone you'll see from home plate umpire Ron Culpa tonight.
Here's a strike. Well, early in the game yesterday, Larry Vanover could have called a strike on a pitch 2 feet outside.
Bartolo almost tipped his cap a couple times.
They had a large strike zone.
Oh, yeah.
Oh boy.
It changed a little bit as the day went along. Certainly Justin DeFreitas didn't see it that way. He couldn't throw anything close to the strike zone.
He threw a 3-run shot up there, a little 3-1 hanging slide piece to Flores.
You know what? He's a good pitcher. He's been a big part of this Phillies team. He just was not his day yesterday.
DeGrom's worked back from 3-0 to 3-2. And Utley lines one over short, and that's a base hit. So the second hit in this opening inning for the Phillies, and Utley continues his revival.
Well, interesting, 2 base hits today, similar pitches, similar line drives over the shortstop's head. Good hitters taking the ball the other way. I think now they know DeGrom is something special, that you have to go up there and really just be compact and go with the pitch.
Here's Ryan Howard, 1 for 3 yesterday, had a sacrifice fly, and it was hit deep and a mile high, and Howard said after the game that he thought he got it. He thought it was going to be a grand slam, but it came up about 10 feet shy of the wall. And he yanks that one foul.
I was going to say, one of the things that has changed in Ryan Howard, and it happens to a lot of older hitters, especially power hitters, they start to get very aggressive on that first pitch, first at bat, because they think they're going to get a fastball. He did, but he was too quick.
Curveball swung and missed, 0-2.
But getting a good down tilt run on his breaking ball.
Yes, he is. Milwaukee's got some painted fingernails, doesn't he? You could see those from the moon. Forget about 60 feet 6 inches.
Neon yellow.
Read tarot cards with those.
Howard pulls one into the shift. Campbell from the right side throws it out. Eric Campbell overlapped to the right side about 50 feet into the outfield. That, folks, is a 5-3 putout. You've got to change the way they score those things.
I think so.
So the Mets will face Jerome Williams in the bottom of the first with no score when we come back. Curtis Granderson striding plateward, wearing Babe Ruth's number. Here's your starting lineup for the Mets tonight, brought to you by Geico. Eric Campbell, after a couple of days on the sidelines, gets to start at third base, trying to snap a long offer. Kevin Plawecki also sat the last 2 days. He's back in there as well.
We see the Toyota numbers on Jerome Williams this year. I said in the beginning of the pregame there about his numbers on the road. He said 40 base runners in 19 1/3 innings on the road.
The overall number is not pretty either. Granderson rolls one into the shift, and Chase Utley will make the play. Post play. Granderson hustling down the line, but he's out, one away.
And we'll give you a quick look at the Philly defense, brought to you by Coors Light. I know you folks don't want to see it every day, but we're going to show it to you anyway. There's the outfield. There's Utley, the all-star, at second. Ryan Howard at first. Ruiz, those are the last 3 surviving members of that championship team.
Well, the British Mets are back tonight.
By the way, I met those guys at the elevator. They're hilarious.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Juan Lagares 0 for 4 yesterday, takes low and away from Williams. Lagares' numbers have suffered ever since he made that diving catch and bruised his right side in so doing. Is that almost 3 weeks ago now?
I think Keith pointed it out, and I was trying to mention that sometimes you start to swing around your injuries, but Keith's got it right on. He's just dipping that back shoulder and is uppercutting everything.
He's not that far off here.
Yeah.
I like the way he swung the bat. He's just a little bit off. It's not anything major. It'll come around.
Do you think the injury is a consideration at this point, or you think he's just gotten in some bad habits?
That I don't know, but I know one thing. When you have an injury, Gare, I think I would focus on making contact as one swing, getting the heck out of that box. Did that make sense to you?
Sure.
Yeah, a little more focus on, okay, I'm a little bit sore here. I better make my swing count.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for, obviously I'm looking for dead red. If I get it, I'm going to cover it, hopefully.
It's jammed and fouls off the fastball. Lucas Duda waiting on deck. Jerome Williams has started his career as a first-round draft pick of the Giants back in 1999, now with his 7th major league team.
Much herald, I believe, too, right?
Yeah, he was a huge prospect. Born and bred in Hawaii. His parents were from New York and moved out to the islands, which is where Jerome was born and raised.
What were my parents thinking? We went the other way. He's one of 38 players that have played in the major leagues that were born in Hawaii.
By the way, wearing that pink glove in honor of his mom, who passed away a few years ago. He used to wear a puka shell necklace in her honor till it disintegrated. And Lagares works out a walk. That's quite a turn at bat. 9 pitches, and Lagares draws just his 8th walk of the season.
It's a lot of what we saw in spring training from Juan, didn't we? When he was leading off, is working that count and working some walks.
So 1 out and 1 on. Now Lucas Duda, who hit a bomb of a home run into the seats in front of the Shea Bridge yesterday. They overlapped the third baseman Franco between Howard and Utley, much where Eric Campbell was playing.
So that could be a 5-3 on your scorebook again, Gare.
Not playing as deep as Campbell was against Howard, because here this man on and the double plays in order.
I know it doesn't mean a lot, but Duda's batting practice was like McGuire-like. 8 straight home runs at one point.
And a check swing tapper. If it stays fair, they'll never throw him out, but it goes foul. Now there was an excuse me swing, but it almost worked to defy the shift.
That old lip in the grass, and that'll always get you. It'll push that ball foul.
You had to be careful on those balls at Shea Stadium with Pete Flynn. They would come back, so you had to get to it quick.
As soon as it kicks foul, just knock it aside.
Well, that's the rule of thumb anyway. Once it's fouled, touch it. The ball's dead and it's foul.
Lagares at first and 1 out. Runs that cutter in on him, and it's 1-2. Daniel Murphy hitting cleanup again today.
He's starting to heat up.
It's going to be his 4th straight game hitting cleanup, and he's the hottest hitter in the lineup, so why not? Duda has a home run against Williams in 6 career at bats. And he goes down swinging for the 2nd out. A changeup from Williams for his first strikeout.
That's been his best pitch so far early in the first 3 hitters. It's a changeup from Williams.
Well, a guy like Williams, like any sinker baller, I feel like I said it all in Pittsburgh too, Garrett. You got to make the sinker baller get it up. You start swinging at that pitch below the knees, they'll just run that thing like it's coming out of a computer until you stop.
Now here's Murphy. He's hit in 5 straight games, 9 for 17 over the 5 games.
Williams at this point in his career is better against lefties than he is righties.
Although they're both hitting over 300 against him this year, just hasn't been a good start for Williams, who came to the Phillies late last season and was really good for them after flaming out with a couple of American League teams. Well, it's been a stark contrast for Daniel. April versus May. Numbers presented by DraftKings. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com. Enter promo code NYM for free entry.
No, the only real surprise there is the April batting average. That's very un-Murph-like. I knew it was a matter of time before Daniel got it together.
Remember, he missed a lot of spring training. So
Michael Cuddyer waiting on deck, hitting 5th in the order tonight. Mets have been dominating the Phillies the last 2 years. 18-5 in the last 23 games between these teams. And Murphy pops one up along the line. In comes Revere, and that retires the side. So a walk and one left. DeGrom back to the mound for the second with no score. At Citi Field, and they've been better on the road. Not this year. They have been dominant at home and have struggled mightily on the road. Who can tell why?
Well, they got over one hump, and that's remember, they couldn't win at home and a couple years ago, and that is ancient history now. They're thriving here.
Kel Franco, the rookie third baseman, leading off in the top of the second. Franco 0 for 4 yesterday, making his 12th start since they called him up and sent Cody Ashley to the minors to learn how to play the outfield. Grady Sizemore on deck.
But those numbers were telling, though. The big one for me, not only the pitchers, ERA is so different. Pitchers have been so much better at home, the Mets, but their runners in scoring position average. They seem to always get the big hit here, and they've never got it on the road.
First strikeout of the night for DeGrom, who fanned 11 in his last start.
Change up, wicked.
Likes to throwing that ball. Fastball in, then change up down and in.
So 1 out and nobody on. Now Grady Sizemore. Sizemore splitting time with Jeff Francoeur in right field these days. 0 for 2 yesterday, 0 for his last 12.
There's Frenchie. Had a couple of bats last night on a double switch.
I don't know how he keeps himself still in the dugout. Of course, last year Francoeur developed a side trade while playing in the minor leagues. He became a pitcher. Pitched in half a dozen games. He's always had a great arm.
An old Met just came in our booth here. Barry Lyons, he gave me a shot to the ribs. I think he broke one of my ribs.
That's because you called him mattress last time he said.
Right.
Barry Lyons, former Met catcher, 80s and 90s. 3-1 now to Sizemore. He's still down in Mississippi?
He's down in Mississippi, but he just is going to coach this summer a college baseball league, summer baseball league in Bristol, Connecticut.
Oh.
Yeah. So he's going to be around.
Baby's first foul ball.
No, don't eat it. You're supposed to hit it.
You're getting an order. Gerbers.
With Horside. Swing and a miss. He got him with a changeup. DeGrom strikes out Sizemore. That's back-to-back Ks now for DeGrom.
Good change, good sinking change, and it looks like when there's the grip, the circle run.
Yeah, circle change. But you can tell how big his hands are. You can barely see the baseball once he gets those fingers around it. Turns it over a little bit. The speed differential gets Sizemore.
That's got to be an advantage, right? When you get that ball deeper in your hand.
Huge. Well, you know what's interesting is that guys who have smaller hands, Gary, will tend to have the ball a little deeper in their hands because they need to slow the ball down. Those guys who have big hands, they hold it out in their hands and kind of just with their fingertips hold it really lightly, almost like you could knock the ball out of their fingers.
And why would you rather do that rather than hold it deeper and maybe take even more speed?
When you hold it deep, you will definitely have a speed differential, but it won't move as much. If you hold it on your fingertips, you almost can take it out. You can have more fingers on it, and you can turn it and manipulate it and move it. And he has that right in there on the ends of his fingertips. And almost all the Mets use it with two seams. That's how they throw their grip. Most guys are taught this way, four seams. The Mets are taught this way by Dan Worthen. He believes in that kind of grip for the changeup. And beauties by DeGrom.
And you get more movement because it's more like throwing a two-seam fastball.
Exactly. It's just you're getting more of that down away from the left-handed hitter. Aaron Harang, who pitches for this Philadelphia team, he said that he picked up his changeup from Dan Worthen in the short time he wore a Met uniform.
DeGrom strikes out the side in the second inning as Odubel Herrera goes down. So DeGrom just getting started. No score in the second. ...2015 Esurance MLB All-Star Game ballot at Mets.com. Voting is exclusively online and available on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Vote at Mets.com now. Michael Cuddyer leads off the home second. Cuddyer hit one into rarely visited territory yesterday in the second deck in left center. Mark Reynolds territory.
That's right.
It was his 4th home run of the year. He hit it batting 5th in the order yesterday. First time all year he had hit 5th, so of course he's back in the 5-hole tonight.
He's doing a drill before the game with Kevin Long where they were working off a tee. And he's done it with Curtis Granderson before where they work on off a tee from home plate hitting the ball out of the ballpark. I've never seen it done before.
Hitting off a tee, out of the ballpark.
Out of the ballpark. And
how do you generate enough power?
He was doing it easily to right field too.
Wow. You got to swing awfully hard, don't you?
Yeah, no, it's like Happy Gilmore's swing.
Complete with hockey stick. Williams deflects it out to Utley. And now each pitcher's had a deflection resulting in an out. That's a 1-4-3 for the first out of the second.
So the double play by the Mets was a 1-6-6-3 and this a 1-4-3. I guess that was more of a question. Is that correct?
Sounded rhetorical.
Yeah. I didn't mean it to sound like that because I wasn't sure.
So 1 out and nobody on. Now Wilmer Flores. Mets were tied 3-3 yesterday when Flores launched a 3-run homer that put him in front to stay. That was in the 6th inning. 7 home runs now. No Met shortstop has ever had 7 home runs before the team's 50th game before.
Reyes holds the record for most home runs by a shortstop, correct, Aaron?
19 in a season.
That was a year he hit 3 in Citizens Bank Park in one game.
Yes, he did. Reyes made his return to the Jays lineup last night after missing, a month with a rib injury.
Right.
Eric Campbell on deck. 1-2 to Flores, and he rips one, caught by Franco. 2 out. You can't hit a ball much harder than that.
Well, that's a big hang with him. Bullet. Can't guide it once it leaves your bat.
Just ripped the glove off his hand.
Is there any guy, Keith, when you were holding a runner on at first base, left-handed hitter, that gave you a little bit of the willies?
Yes.
He was going to pull the ball down the line?
Former Met John Milner was one of them. He hit those wicked top spin ground balls. He was a dead pull hitter. Stargell, of course. Joe Morgan gave me the willies over there. Joe could pulled late in his career, and he can hit some bullets.
Campbell fouls one off his leg. It's been a real slog for Eric. 0 for his last 20 over the last 2 days. First Ruben Tejada, then Danny Muno played third base. It is a day-by-day consideration right now for Terry Collins, who said he's got to think long and hard every day about who to play at third.
Well, he's in the lineup because Terry Collins said before the game, he said right-handers are hitting Williams well. That's why Campbell's in the lineup.
Well, so are lefties. 323 right-handers, 307 lefties. But the right-handers have 7 home runs of his 8 given up.
And he takes strike 3 call. Got him looking at the cutter. Second strikeout for Williams, and the Mets are down 1-2-3 in the second. Still no score. behind them, but then really got rolling in the second by striking out the side. And he'll get 8, 9, and 1 in the Phillies batting order in the third in a scoreless game. Carlos Ruiz will start things off. Ruiz 0 for 4 in the game yesterday, hitting at .243. Well, today was a day of great consternation in the world of the Philadelphia Phillies. A firestorm, which I guess you could say reached a conflagration, developed in Philadelphia in the wake of remarks made by the Philly GM Ruben Amaro. I think it's probably not a stretch to say that while New York fans are passionate and Boston fans are passionate, Philly fans have a different level of passion, which borders on anger, and they have for a long time. And what happened today only fanned the flames. Breaking ball misses low, 1-2. What happened was that Amaro was being interviewed by Jim Salisbury, who writes for CSN Philadelphia, terrific sports writer, great credibility. And the subject was that Philly fans are getting impatient because their team is older. They're obviously not playing particularly well, and that a lot of the fans might like to see their top prospects come up. As Ruiz is caught looking on the slider. 4th strikeout for DeGrom
in a row.
So 1 out and nobody on, the pitcher Williams coming up. And in response to that, what Amaro said, and it was a long quote, but I'll read you the key lines. He said about the fans, they don't understand the game. Then he also said they, and I can't say the word, B word, and complain. Those were the money quotes.
Yeah.
Needless to say, the Philly fans, who already, I think, had something of a negative view of the Philly front office, the way they've allowed this older team to sink into the sunset after their glory years, they've lost their mind. And Ruben, to his credit, has spent most of the day trying to put out the fire and went on a number of radio shows, and at one point only kind of made it worse by saying that not all of the fans don't understand the game, only some of them. As Williams strikes out, that's 5 in a row now for DeGrom. But then finally he met with reporters today. He said, I used my words incorrectly or poorly. It's not what I meant to say. And I just wonder, is that the kind of thing that can be fatal for a general manager?
Well, it's certainly not positive. It reminds me when Lee Elia was managing the Cubs, and that was far worse. He said what Cub fans don't work and only come here and drink beer and get drunk and boo my players.
That's right.
That's far worse. And you know, I like Ruben, and you can't win that war, and he is not a very popular figure in Philadelphia. I have friends in Philly, and they are collectively very unhappy with him, and this cannot help. Even if even though he's pulling back from his statement, this is not a good thing.
Well, I think what happens sometimes, and I know he spent a lot of the time, as you said, Gary, trying to kind of ward off some of the comments he made. But, you know, frustration works both ways. So, you know, the fans are frustrated with the front office of Philadelphia because they had all those great years, and now they're a little old and their younger players aren't ready to come up. But there's also, you say words occasionally because you're frustrated too, and you don't want to take it anymore, and you reach out and you lash out. And I know now he's trying to take it back. I totally understand. But that's what happens when you lose your temper. It can happen easily.
Revere bounces one down to Duda, and DeGrom has another dominating inning. He's now retired 7 in a row. We go to the bottom of the third. No score. check in with Steve Gelbs. His report tonight is brought to you by Prism. Steve?
Gary, Kevin Plawecki got the last 2 days off. He's been slumping a bit, just hitting 121 in his last 11 games. And something we heard in Pittsburgh about the team in general, we heard the word pressing a lot, and that word kind of takes on a new meaning when you're talking about a young guy getting his first taste of Major League Baseball. And Kevin admitted as much. He said, you know, you're trying to impress when you're in my spot. You're trying not to think that way, but it's just human nature. It's sometimes easier said than done, especially when you look up at the big scoreboard. Plawecki looks like he's going to get the first there, so unable to make the play was Utley, and run on first for the Mets. But you look up at the scoreboard, Plawecki said, and the numbers keep going down. The average keeps going down. You hit the ball hard, but it's right at somebody. Maybe you just miss your pitch, and you start to build that frustration level. Plawecki said right now the battle with him is trying to keep that confidence up and not overthink things too much.
Well, he'll be heartened by getting credit for a base hit on a hard hit ball that Utley couldn't quite handle. And that sets it up for DeGrom. Of course, this is a fateful week for Plawecki because the expectation is that.
Is that the stuff? Yeah. That's it. Yeah.
The expectation is that d'Arnaud will be back with the Mets sometime next week, whether it's in San Diego, which they hope, or Arizona, which they expect.
Well, there's a sense of urgency for Plawecki to start hitting and make him change their mind. He's going to be the odd man out here. And when d'Arnaud comes back, he's done a credible job, Plawecki, since his call-up. He's had some ups and downs. He hasn't had a lot of minor league experience.
Right. I think it's, I don't know, maybe you guys disagree. I think it's doubtful that he stays around as a backup. They need to send him down to play.
Yes. And I like his swing. I like what I saw in spring training. And he really wouldn't be here if the club was healthy. He probably wouldn't be here. He'd be getting a full season in AAA and seasoning. So he needs to go down there and play every day.
I totally agree with you guys, 100%. My only issue is that for every underperformance, and listen, I think Plawecki has done a fantastic job. There's a lot on his plate as DeGrom takes a strike there trying to bunt. Well, you know, you can make an argument for anything, not the reason you're not successful. You know what I mean? I find that, to see the defense on this, I think DeGrom's still going to be bunting. I'm not expressing myself correctly here, so let's let him try to bunt. Maybe I can figure it out.
He'll swing, and it might be a double play. Utley to Galvis. DeGrom hustles it out and beats the play at first. Good hard slide by Plawecki. Good hustle by DeGrom, and the Mets stay out of the double play.
Well, flipping from too far, too much time, and a hustling DeGrom gets him to the fielder's choice, stays on base. He's got to make an overhand throw, Utley, to the shortstop, and then they would have completed the double play. A mistake you don't see too often from Chase.
Do a little better stretch there by the big Ryan Howard at first base. I don't know if that would have helped.
So DeGrom is aboard with one out, and now Granderson, who grounded out to Utley his first time up. Granderson 2 hits in yesterday's game, both to right field. He's been pulling a lot more recently. Juan Lagares waiting on deck.
I think sometimes it is an everyday a player, an infielder. You kind of take it for granted pitchers aren't going to be busted, particularly early in the game, Gary. You know, but DeGrom is young and feisty.
He's got athletic ability too, and that makes a difference. 3-0 to Granderson, who likes to swing 3-0. And instead he takes ball 4, and the Mets have 2 men on. Second walk given up by Williams. And so the Mets got a runner into scoring position for the first time tonight. And Juan Lagares will come up. Lagares had a long turn at bat his first time up, a 9-pitch walk. DeGrom and Granderson, the base runners. 33-year-old Jerome Williams who has had to resurrect his career on multiple occasions.
Wants to see the catcher Ruiz.
Ronnie, a guy like Williams, who's having a tough season, and right now, you know, we're 2 1/3 innings in. He has to pitch a very, very precise game. He knows he's in trouble right now. He's got to make his pitches here to get out of this, correct?
Well, one, if you're a pitcher like Williams, you can't walk anybody. 2, you want them to hit the first 3 pitches you throw up there. You don't want them to see 5, 6, and 7 pitches. Your stuff just isn't that tight to do that.
Cutter off the plate to Lagares.
Almost every pitcher you see that struggles does the same thing. They nibble early in the count. They get behind hitters, and at some point you're going to have to come into the hitter. And when you do, that's when you give up those 3-run bombs.
Remember the first at bat that Lagares drew a walk, a very fine at bat. He pounded him inside with the hard sinker, and now this at bat, 2 straight breaking balls away. So all the little things you look for when you're home watching the game, how a pitcher attacks a hitter differently every at bat.
And the sinker ball is what he should throw because he wants the ball on the ground.
And he gets it behind the back. Franco, now the race with DeGrom, and Franco gets there first for the force play on the second out.
Wise play, very heady play by Franco here. Get the lead runner. You're not going to turn 2. He's playing back.
Ron can move. You know what it is that DeGrom knows how to play. So he knows how to take a secondary lead. He knows
nice slide,
how to get a good jump.
Pop-up slide.
2 out and 2 on. Duda batting. Keep Galvis over close to third to guard against the double steal. Otherwise, the full shift on against Duda.
I think right now that with Murphy hitting behind in the lineup for Duda, it gives Duda good protection. Murphy's red hot, a line drive hitter. This situation here where a base hit can hurt you, he's going to want to go after Duda, who strikes out more.
Lucas struck out on a changeup his first time up. And he lines one up the middle of base hit. That'll bring in the game's first run. Granderson scores. Lagares slides in safely at third. Lucas Duda with an RBI single, and it's 1-0 New York.
Well, this is perfect. You got a sinker ball pitcher, and their bread and butter is always going to be that sinker ball down and away, and you cannot pound a circle into a square and try to pull this ball with power. You got to hit it where it's pitched. I, in fact, would be less inclined in this situation where a base hit hurts you to play a full shift like that, Gary, and open up that left side of the infield.
Didn't we see him do the exact same thing in Pittsburgh on the same kind of shift and the same kind of pitch?
Absolutely.
So Duda has his 21st RBI, and the Mets have the early lead. And now Murphy, who flied to left his first time up. 1st and 3rd and 2 out.
In fact, to take it a step further, guys, if you're the pitcher and you're Williams, it takes the sinker ball out of play for you. If you're in between what you should throw something soft. He's more apt to pull it. If he pulls it into the defense. You can't throw a fastball away.
Well, as a consequence, Duda now with 6 RBIs in his last 4 games. And starting to produce runs the way the Mets need him to. Now Williams behind Murphy 2-0 with Kadire on deck. A huge batter for Williams right now.
Well, he's picking his poison here. I believe he wants nothing to do with Murph. Feels more confident going after not so much Kadire, but just percentages righty against righty.
Murphy has not swung at a 3-0 pitch this year, not likely to do so here. And he takes the walk, bases loaded. Second walk of the inning, 3rd of the night for Williams. And a moment of truth in this game with the Mets up 1-0. Kadire coming to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 out. Michael hit one off the glove of Williams that deflected to Utley, and he threw him out his first time up.
You know, I just think that as far as the shifts are concerned, you're taking a pitcher who has 3 pitches. His best pitch is his sinker ball, then his changeup, and then his slider. So in shifting against Lucas Duda, what you're telling the pitcher, and he didn't get it, obviously, you're telling the pitcher that one of your best pitches really can't use in this at-bat. Or if you do, you have to pitch around the strike zone, not for a strike. And that's something that, strange that a veteran pitcher wouldn't get it, but he's probably been pitching prior to shifts early in his career, and he goes back to that pitch that he feels most comfortable with, but it's against the defense. It hurts him.
Pitching coach Bob McClure out there having a word with Jerome Williams.
Well, the Mets have cashed in this year with the bases loaded. 40 at bats with the bases loaded this year. The Mets are hitting .425. Cuddyer 8 career grand slams. And he takes that cutter on the corner, 0-1. Same pitch, same spot.
Boy, I'll tell you.
0-2.
Good slider, and then a fastball to the same spot, Ron. Knees in black, outside corner.
There's nothing you can do with that pitch.
Sit there and go, okay.
Can you do it again?
When your ERA is over 5, you can't do it. 3 in a row.
Lined over third, base hit. Magaris is in. Duda chugging home. It's a 2-run hit for Cuddyer, who overruns first base, thinking that Murph was going to advance, but he hustles on back. Cuddyer drives in a pair, and the Mets have a 3-0 lead.
Tried to come in after 2 pitches away. Does get it in, but it's up, and Cuddyer. Now, you'd say, okay, it's good to go up and in, but Cuddyer's a high ball hitter.
Pitchers sometimes outthink themselves. He threw 2 perfect pitches away. If you're going to waste the pitch there, you throw it off the plate, something he can't swing at, then go back to your money pitch away. He never got there because it caught too much of the plate.
So 3 runs are home. Now Wilmer Flores, the 8th man up in the inning. Wilmer hit a bullet to third base that Franco caught his first time up.
Well, I cannot tell you. There's Cuddyer making the aggressive turn. Murphy had no shot going to third. I cannot tell you, this whole inning opened up with DeGrom's hustle on that double play ball, Gary.
Yep. Otherwise, it's 2 out and nobody on, and the inning goes very differently. 2-0 to Flores. Nobody up yet in the Philly bullpen as the Mets put together a big inning against Jerome Williams. Williams has failed to go more than 5 innings in each of his last 5 starts, so he's not a guy who's getting deep into games anyway. 2-0 to Flores. And he lays off the fastball. 3-0.
Well, here's what opens up the whole inning. Should be a double play, particularly with a pitcher, but DeGrom hustling equals 3 runs.
Plawecki some credit too for a hard slide at second that disrupted Galvis just enough. Flores swinging 3-0. Got a little quick,
a little over anxious. All of his 23 years of age showing there. You want to look at something for something middle in when you get a 3-0 hit sign.
Murphy at second, Cuddyer at first with 2 out with 3 runs home in the inning. And Flores bounces that one foul. 3-2. Eric Campbell would be next. It'll be an automatic start for Murphy at second and Cuddyer at first. (3-2) coming to Flores. Line right at Utley, and he picks it off to end the inning. But the Mets put up a 3 spot against Jerome Williams in the 3rd. Cuddyer with a 2-run hit, and the Mets are up 3-0.
That was quick. Whoa. No thought put into it at all.
You want me to be like Al?
No.
Freddie Galvis leads off in the fourth. Jacob deGrom pitching with the lead for the first time tonight. Galvis hit one off deGrom's glove for a 1-6-3 double play and a hit and run play in the first inning. It short-circuited what could have been a good inning for the Phils. Galvis 3 for 3 against deGrom, first time he faced him. That was in the home opener for the Mets this year. deGrom pitched through 6 1/3 scoreless against the Phillies, a 2-0 win. In fact, he's 2-0 with a 1.37 ERA in 3 career starts against Philadelphia.
Guys, how many times do you see a pitcher with a dirty uniform? You don't get that very often, right? That's a big part of that inning.
He's a player.
He is. Nice to see.
On the outside corner, and he gets Galvis. 97 on the black for his 6th strikeout of the night.
Did you see Plawecki sit outside? This is vintage, like 1992 Braves.
Eddie Perez.
Right? I mean, his whole body is outside that strike zone, and he gets the call.
Galvis had a gripe there.
Yes, he did.
So now Utley with a base hit to left field his first time up. Utley is now hitting .348 against the Mets this year, .158 against everybody else. I know that'll come as a big shock. It's a call strike. And some barking from the Phillies dugout.
Uh-oh.
Ron Culpa apparently has had enough.
Here comes Rhino.
This is Rabbits.
I'm talking to him.
Rabbits.
I'm talking to him.
Okay.
What happens a lot of times is people are screaming from the bench, and the home plate umpire has just had enough. He screams over there, and Ryan Sandberg came out to kind of calm it down.
Little rabbit ears.
Well, Utley pops one into shallow left, and Kadire in to grab it. 2 up. Ooh. Get all the post-game reaction from Citi Field after Noah Syndergaard's start in tomorrow's Mets-Phillies game on Daily News Live, presented by Citi, tomorrow at 5, only on SNY.
A lot of red pencil on that sheet there.
Got to do what you can. Here's Ryan Howard, who grounded one into the shift his first time up. Eric Campbell was playing way out in shallow right field and going toward the line, got to it and threw him out for your not very routine 5-3 put out. What do you suggest that they rectify that, just in terms of scoring, now that you got third baseman playing on the right side of the field? And there's got to be some way of uniquely scoring a play like that.
Backwards 5-3.
That's good.
Oh, Ronnie.
I like that. See, it takes a Yale guy.
I am very impressed.
That was awesome.
That can't be that awesome. I've never even done it before. It can't be that awesome.
That's a good one.
There we go.
See, I've been writing down right side on underneath the 5-3. But that's a great shorthand, like a call third strike is a backwards K.
Now, has anyone ever tried to make a backwards 5 yet?
It looks awful. Look at that, Gary. I just did it. That looks terrible. Looks terrible.
It looks like a 2.
2 to 3.
I know.
Yeah, that's not good. Forget it. It's a terrible idea.
How about V3, like in Roman numerals?
Oh, that's good.
Or just put an ass. Forget it. We're just mental. You know what? Let's stop it. Let's go back to the game.
Oh, you're the moral compass now. That's very interesting.
Mike Franco would be next. 2 out and nobody on. 1-2 coming to Howard, and the curveball fouled off.
I just got the eyeballs from Gary.
DeGrom has struck out 6 of his last 8 hitters. 7 of 9. Going upstairs to get Ryan Howard. 7 punch outs in the first 4 innings for Jacob deGrom, and he's rolling again, up 3-0 in the 4th. Final game of this series tomorrow afternoon. Noah Syndergaard against Sean O'Sullivan. Our coverage begins at 12:30 tomorrow on SNY. Eric Campbell leads off in the home fourth inning and takes the cutter for a strike. Campbell took a call third strike his first time up. Now 0 for his last 21. Campbell, Plawecki, and DeGrom 7, 8, and 9 in the order after the Mets put up 3 runs in the third against Jerome Williams. I mentioned the itinerant nature of Williams' career. 2010 he went to Taiwan, pitched in independent leagues in 2008 and 2011. And then last year he began the season with Houston. They used him in the bullpen. They let him go. The Rangers picked him up, made 2 starts for them. They let him go. And his numbers with both those teams were terrible. 6.7 ERA in the American League. Then the Phillies picked him up and he gave them 9 good starts, which is why they brought him back for this year. 4-2, 2.83 for the Phillies coming down the stretch last season.
I'll always admire those guys that you have to tear the uniform off of. You go to these remote places to just keep that dream alive.
And Campbell takes ball 4. So a productive turn at bat for Campbell, and the 4th walk already given up by Williams in 3 innings plus.
That can't happen with Jerome.
Well, first at bat, Plawecki got a first pitch fastball. He's following a walk here. Might get the same pitch.
Hit one behind the bag at second. Utley was able to knock it down but not make a play, and Plawecki got an infield hit.
There you go. That's where I'll be nesting tonight.
You are you're headed under the knife.
I'm going to get arthroscopic surgery on my shoulder, right shoulder tomorrow with Dr. Alchek.
Hit toward the middle, base hit. Just beyond the reach of Galvis. Plawecki just hit it too hard. So Plawecki is 2 for 2, and the Mets have 2 men on to start the 4th.
Bullets up the middle.
Baseball, an interesting thing. Plawecki gets a couple days off, recharges batteries. Darno is on his way to come back. A couple of base hits.
Clear the head, get away from it a couple days.
Galvis trying to get Citi Field off his body. 2 on for DeGrom, who couldn't get a bunt down and then hit a ground ball that looked like a double play, but he beat out the relay, and that set the stage for a 3-run inning. They look for the bunt again.
Well, this was one of the things that was one of my pet peeves, particularly when it was late in the season or middle of the season, hot, and a pitcher couldn't throw a strike on a bunt situation. You're charging. It just drove me crazy.
Although he's such a threat, DeGrom might be swinging here.
He's got Howard charging from first base. Bunt, fair ball. Ruiz goes to third, and this time they'll get the double play. DeGrom couldn't push it away from home plate, and the Phillies turn the 2-5-4 double play.
Easily running.
Well, watch Jacob. He waits to see if it's fair or foul, and that cost him. He would have been out anyway. But
right. Not even Flash would have beat that one out.
Franco's got a really strong arm too. So that leaves Plawecki at second with 2 out. And here's Granderson, who walked and scored in the third, 0 for 1 on the night. So I'd just like to revisit for a moment your medical plans, Keith.
Yes.
If you're getting in-season surgery, you must be in a lot of pain.
I am. Then the other reason too is, and I'll try to be brief here. We got 2 outs. Maybe you'll throw a ball. Anyway, I got to get hip replacement surgery right in October, November. So I'm going to be on a cane for a while, and I got to have my right shoulder in good shape. But I got a bone spur that is flaying my, I guess it's called the supraspinatus, Ronnie?
Yes, it is.
So I got to get it done. I got to get the bone spur cut off or snipped off and sanded down.
Are you getting some kind of frequent surgery rate?
Major League Baseball insurance.
Granderson out to center field. Herrera took a bad angle, then goes back and somehow stays with it and makes the stumbling catch. That was the great circle route by Odubel Herrera. Whoops! Better adjust. And the rookie center fielder makes the play. Brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers. Visit them on the web at searchmercedes.com. What does a changeup look like in slow motion?
Pitcher dropped a little Stephen Wright on me. Very nice, and not the pitcher for the Red Sox. It's very
interesting.
Profound.
Yeah.
Maikel Franco leads off for the Phillies in the 5th inning against Jacob deGrom, who gave up 2 hits in the first and has now retired 10 in a row. Something bothering Ron Culpa, it would appear.
Maybe it's the verbal abuse he's taken from that Philly dugout.
And something went down the wrong way. But he's going to hang in there. Franco struck out his first time. He takes a strike.
In our day, Keith, you would see that happen to players occasionally because they would chew tobacco and it would somehow they'd swallow it occasionally.
Right. And you can get very sick if you got too much tobacco in the tummy. I never chewed tobacco. I chewed tobacco once, didn't like it in minor leagues, and thank goodness. Nasty habit.
Lined off deGrom. Flores charging and makes the play in time. Second 1-6-3 put out tonight. Now the question is, where did that ball hit deGrom?
Caught off the tip of the glove.
Yeah. He is an athlete.
Moves his feet, gets his glove down.
Very athletic.
Well handled by Flores as well for the first out. So that's 11 straight retired by deGrom. Is this deja vu?
Yeah.
There's Sizemore who fouls one back.
One of the things you're seeing from all the young Mets pitchers that they brought up, they're all very athletic. They all can feel their position. They don't have the speed of deGrom. deGrom, of course, is the most accomplished athlete of all of them.
And then there's young Bartolo Colon. That's ripped into right. And so the string is snapped at 11 in a row as Sizemore has a 1-out hit. Third hit of the night for the Phillies.
This is a predominantly left-hand hitting lineup. You've got 5 left-hand hitters and a switch hitter, so 6 in the lineup hitting left-handed. And ironically, not ironically, all the base hits are From left-handers, I bet you they're watching.
I would think they're watching the hockey game.
The ice. Go Rangers.
Buzz just went through the ballpark. I believe the Rangers just scored.
They're going to win Game 6 there. You watch.
Odubel Herrera takes a strike. Herrera struck out his first time up. Is he watching the game or taking a photo?
What
You're not supposed to have your backs to the field.
This is a large.
Just saying. Herrera hits one slowly. Murphy gets the force. Relay by Flores, not in time. Herrera just too fast. Ball just not hit hard enough. But they get the second out.
Make sure of one on a slow hit ball. Make sure you get the lead runner. Almost turned it.
That was pretty close.
Tell you what, Wilmer is got a strong arm, knows how to turn the pair.
Neighborhood play.
Yep.
I think coming across that bag on the turning the 2 is one of the better things he does defensively.
Yes, I agree, Ron.
Now, if you watch that play and you see, well, his foot wasn't on the bag when he caught the ball, that's the one play that's exempt from all the replay. And they did that purposely to avoid middle infielders getting hurt.
That and stepping on the plate when you bunt.
No. We found that out yesterday. Herrera 6 steals on the year as Ruiz takes a strike. Well, since June 21st of last year, when DeGrom really kicked it in gear, he's got the best earned run average of any starter in the National League.
That's big league.
Top five pitchers in the league right there. Some fine company.
And here at Citi Field, nearly impeccable. Lifetime earned run average in this ballpark of 1.50 through his first 16 career starts in his home ballpark. 10-4, 1.50. Ahead on Ruiz, 0-2.
He's got the type of stuff, Ron, and correct me if I'm wrong, is there's nothing you can add to it. He's got a great live fastball. He's got a great sinking change. He's got a good slider. Knows how to pitch inside. Just stay with what that's basic stuff, and he's a winner.
Curveball grounded out to Murphy, and he takes care of Chooch for the third out. 5 scoreless for DeGrom tonight. Halfway through, 3-0 Mets. goes back to the mound for the Mets. And Sean O'Sullivan, who's been up and down from the minor leagues, will get the start for the Phils. And the Mets have a day off Thursday before the Marlins come in for the weekend. Matt Harvey makes a start Friday night. Juan Lagares leads off in the home fifth against Jerome Williams and takes a curveball for a strike. Is that the first curve he's thrown all night?
Yeah, it's a good pitch.
Third time around the batting order, adding another wrinkle.
Some guys will sink the fastball by their grip. Studa's on deck. Williams does not. He does it with his arm angle. He drops his arm angle just enough to get the ball to sink in the right-handers.
Hello.
I know that's called a pacifier, but everyone has their own name for it
Dinky.
in your own family, right?
Right. This is precious, isn't it? Cutter off the plate, 1-2 to Lagares with Duda and Murphy to follow. Mets scored all three of their runs in the third. Duda an RBI single. Michael Kadire drove in a pair with a bases loaded hit. And Lagares chases out of the strike zone, and that's the third strikeout for Jerome Williams.
Good slider here. Chasing. The catch-22 for Lagares, isn't it? Is that he has the ability to get hits on balls off the plate. So on two strikes, sometimes it costs him because he's chasing that ball off the plate.
I don't think, and it's early, Juan's a very young hitter, and you get wiser with age. I don't think that Juan right now, if you can't cover the whole plate righty-righty, then pick a 3/4 of the plate that you want to attack and take the quarter of the plate that you're most vulnerable in.
Duda rips one, but Utley's there to grab the liner, and that's the second out.
So what I mean is, if you're looking away, then you're going to take the pitch on the inner half in, and you're going to cover 3/4 of the plate away, and vice versa. And once you learn to do that against righty-righty, I did that with left-handers, then you pick your spots. And it comes with experience.
So 2 out and nobody on for Murphy, who walked on 4 pitches his last time up after flying out in the first. Off the mound comes up nicely for Galvis, and he throws out Murphy. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Jerome Williams. And we've played 5 at Citi Field with the Mets up 3-0. Brought to you by JetBlue. Mets got all 3 of their runs in the third inning against Jerome Williams, and he's going to bat for himself here in the sixth, which is notable as he lines a base hit, his first hit of the season after going 0 for 15. Notable not just for that, but it means Williams is going to go back out for the sixth, and he has not gotten out in the sixth inning in any of his last 5 starts.
Remember, though, their starter last night, Severino Gonzalez, only went 4 in the third inning, so you're trying to get some length out of your starting pitching.
And he's done okay. I mean, he gave up the 3 runs in the third and has been able to sidestep trouble otherwise. Just that Jacob deGrom has been so much better. It was the 4th hit off Jake, now the 3rd time around the batting order. And Ben Revere, who singled to lead off the game and then grounded out in the 3rd. Takes a strike.
I'm a Jet fan. I'm a Ranger fan.
I think he's explaining that well. Another shot at your 6th inning recap.
6th inning squared.
Now you have all the details you might have missed before. Broken bat flare. Campbell on a hop goes to second and gets the 4th. That's a smart play by Campbell with the slow-footed pitcher Williams running.
That's called getting in your kitchen, Keith.
Well, sometimes when deGrom wants to come into the left-hander, the ball kind of tends to maybe bleed a little bit out over the plate. That one he got in, and as a result, severe buzzsaw.
It's a mangled bat.
Good kindling.
So Revere at first with 1 out. Now Freddie Galvis is 0 for 2, heading to a double play and took a call 3rd strike, and he flies 1 out to center. LeGarrett's got a late start, now racing back to get it. And back to first goes Revere, 2 out. Let's check in with the studio for a game break. Chris Carlin is there, brought to you by Honda. You know, the Marlins, if you count Jose Fernandez, now have 4/5 of their starting rotation on the disabled list. Cozart's out with a head injury. Alvarez is down. Lato's down with a knee injury. So really, Dan Herron's the last guy left standing.
Kohler's going to pitch on Saturday. We got Herron on Friday night.
I mean, Kohler's only in the rotation because Fernandez is recovering. So it's just a combination of a lot of really bad things happening for the Marlins right now. Utley takes a strike, and the latest, as Chris alluded to, Brett Butler, who had been the third base coach, removed from that job today.
Reassigned to defensive outfield coach.
Lenny Harris, another former Met, will take over as third base coach for Miami. He's had no traffic so far tonight. Utley takes a fastball away, and it's 1-1. Utley 1 for 2, single to left, fly to left.
I'm just thinking that's like being in this booth and being in the bar stool all the time. Being the defensive outfield coach. Doesn't get any worse.
Well, meanwhile, since Dan Jennings took over as manager, 2 different opposing managers have taken shots at him in their post-game press conferences, Chip Hale and Buck Showalter. So there's a lot of strange stuff going on. Utley pops up. DeGrom, 14 straight scoreless innings. Michael Cuddyer, first pitch swinging, drills a base hit into left field, and that's how the bottom of the 6th begins. Cuddier's second hit of the night. While Jacob deGrom getting more and more efficient as this game goes along.
I like deGrom's demeanor in between innings when he's sitting on the. Actually, he's on the top backrest. You know?
Well, that way you can rest your back up against the cement wall. It's a little easier. It feels better on your back if you sit back. But you like it because there's no one around him. He doesn't do any talking in between innings. Concentration.
Always leave the pitcher alone.
He's not a big talker in the dugout or in life, and sometimes that's the best way to go.
That's right.
And the most I'd do if you had a good inning and you pitched out of it, I'd give you a pat on the back and then I'd leave you alone. You know, pitcher's got to focus, stay focused.
To Flores, who's hit a hard line drive and a soft line drive tonight, 0 for 2. Eric Campbell on deck. That's now with 5 hits against Jerome Williams. In the Philly bullpen, the left-hander Elvis Araujo, who took the loss yesterday, is up. Cuddyer at first and nobody out. And it comes inside, 3-1.
Elvis is in the building.
It's the count he had yesterday, right, Gary, when he hit that 3-run home run off DeFreitas.
And a check swing foul on a slider, 3-2.
He's a pretty good player.
Hall of Famer. Maybe the best third baseman of all time.
Wait a minute. I got my tickets. Met jersey.
Freeze, Gopher.
Bearhead. Okay, ready to go. Let's go. Let's get on the 7th train.
There goes Cuddyer. Flores drills one down the line toward the pole, but foul. Another hard hit ball off the bat of Wilmer Flores.
Well, it's always a happy area for him. It's always a ball out over the plate around mid-thigh, a little below the belt. That is where he loves it. And he's got a home run swing. He's very quick inside, Mr. Flores.
Back to the cutter here away.
Cuddyer was running. He's running again.
Good cut.
Flores able to reach for that and foul it off. Williams trying to get an out in the 6th inning for the first time since April. Eighth pitch of the at bat coming to Flores. Cuddyer runs again, and Flores lines one right to the third baseman, and that'll be an easy double play. Second time he's lined out to Franco tonight. So he's hit some balls very hard, and he's very unlucky 0 for 3.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's better to hit them very hard and come up empty than to be hitting little ducks, little bleeders and bloops.
So now Williams has gotten an out in the 6th inning, 2 of them. And Eric Campbell bats. Campbell has struck out and walked tonight, 0 for 1. And takes a curveball for a strike.
Williams has to use that pitch more in the game. Inning 1.
He likes to lead off hitters with it, doesn't he, Ron?
Yeah. Called off the jam midstream, saying that he didn't see the sign. That's why he stopped. He didn't want to throw the incorrect pitch. Slider away.
Struck him out. Strikeout number 4 for Williams. So he's gotten his way through 6 innings. A credible performance. Jacob deGrom, on the other hand, dominated.
First player in Mets history to drive in 100 runs in a season. I know that one.
Rusty Staub, 105.
Wow. That's just.
Well, folks, don't, you know, come up with something better.
Ryan Howard takes ball 1 from deGrom as we start the 7th.
Just laughed at that question.
You went behind your back on that one, Garrett.
Well,
Guy Rogers for the layup.
I mean, that was one of those things early in Mets history. I mean, their first 13 years, nobody drove in 100 runs, and it was becoming a big deal. And then when Rusty finally drove in 100, it was a thing. Wasn't quite like the no-hitter thing or the third baseman thing, but it was definitely a thing. Luis Garcia up in the Phillies bullpen. 2-2 to Howard, who's grounded out and struck out 0 for 2. Of course, you know, there was some consternation among Met fans when they acquired Rusty Staub. They had to give up a couple of very promising young players. Mike Jorgensen and Kenny Singleton.
Singleton had some very fine years in Montreal.
The Expos had with the Orioles after that. And he was a local kid, too. Howard strikes out. That's number 8 for deGrom. 1 out of the 7th. You know, Kenny grew up in Westchester, so that was kind of a big deal.
You know, it's a slider that backed up, didn't break.
One out and nobody on. Here's Maikel Franco, who struck out and grounded out 1 for 2. 0 for 2. 0 for 6 in the series now for Franco. DeGrom looking very sharp. Spotting his fastball, keeping it down.
Just so aggressive.
I mean, remember when he had trouble with too many fastballs up in the strike zone?
He was in between. He didn't know which, if he wanted to throw the ball down or up. He was alternating it, and I think he and Dan Wortham worked on it. And just be aggressive down in the strike zone. Go up occasionally, because that's not your money pitches. Money pitches, that sinking fastball. But he's been uber aggressive these last 2 starts.
That's drilled to left field. Kadire going back and reels it in. Nice play by Kadire. That ball really had a lot of pop on it. 2 out.
Well, one of the few hangers that DeGrom has thrown today. I think this was a hanging slider, and it was hit appropriately. Nice play. You get away with that. He knew that. Yes, sir. You get away with those once in a while.
Well, DeGrom has gone 24 straight innings without allowing an extra base hit. That streak very nearly ended there. But now 2 out and nobody on for Grady Sizemore.
He's hitless in this series, but Mikel Franco can play a little bit.
Sizemore has one of the 4 hits against DeGrom. A single to right field his last time up. That snapped an 0 for 13 skid for Sizemore, who is just a shell of his former self. A lot of people, though, didn't think Sizemore was ever going to play again after he had microfracture surgery and made a comeback first with the Red Sox, then with the Phillies last year. He had no chance on that fastball, 1-2.
Some strange ways, because of your great success early in your career, you keep getting more chances because everyone's trying to find that lightning again.
A fanatic in a Mets uniform?
That's a first.
Oh, talk about crossbreeding. Wow. Struck him out. Number 9 for Jacob DeGrom. A scintillating inning. 7th inning stretch. Mets up 3-0. On SNY is brought to you by Tri-State Honda. Hurry to your local Tri-Honda dealer for great deals on the 2015 models. People's United Bank presenting tonight's starting pitchers. Jacob DeGrom, tremendous again tonight. Jerome Williams held his own, had the one bad inning in the 3rd, and that's got him in a 3-0 hole. Williams done for the night, and Luis Garcia will pitch the bottom of the 7th.
Well, we saw Garcia pitch in Philadelphia. He has outstanding stuff. You can see his strikeouts, innings pitched. His control issues, though, are just a problem for Garcia, like many of the relievers for the Philadelphia Phillies.
It's been a good night for Kevin Plawecki. 2 for 2. He's hit the ball up the middle twice. And he takes a fastball for a strike. Well, Jacob DeGrom is on deck. DeGrom has thrown 98 pitches, 7 shy of his season high. But it looks like he'll get a chance to go out there for the 8th. This is where I think the extra day's rest really helps. They're not going to start the 6-man rotation till the road trip, but with the off day coming up on Thursday, everybody in the rotation will get an extra day.
I think you can get them up to 110, 115.
it's really a catch-22, isn't it? You're giving everybody extra days to cut down on their innings, but the fact they have an extra day allows you to give them an extra inning.
Yeah, and it gives them more time to throw on the side, and you got to really monitor that so they don't overthrow.
Hadn't thought about that.
Right.
And Plawecki strikes out for the first out because, Terry has talked about, especially when a guy is going to have 2 extra days, which is going to happen with the 6-man rotation, that they're going to have to maybe throw some batting practice in the middle or have an extra side session. Does that add up as well?
It adds up as well. But the difficult part, Gary, is pitchers can only do one thing, and that is throw in between starts. Throw the baseball. You can't work on your fielding. You don't really work on your hitting. You can do a little bit of that in the cage. But when you have all that time off, what do you want to do in your spare time? You want to throw the ball.
Revere catches DeGrom's fly ball for the second out. Well, let me ask you this.
Okay.
Would more running between starts be in order?
No, you better. You better use that time to run more. I don't know if guys run as much as they used to. There's a lot of they have a lot of scientific different methods of. I saw Noah Syndergaard after he was starting in Chicago doing line to lines. I haven't seen a pitcher do line to lines 10 years.
John Neese has always been a runner between starts.
Foul pole to foul pole.
Foul pole
from the warning track.
Yeah,
well, that's a lot. That's serious.
That was fun to watch.
Remember when Mike Pelfrey got an early shower at Coors Field and he ran around the stadium for the rest of the night?
I got an early exit in Cincinnati. 2/3 of an inning, 10 runs.
Ooh.
I think 6 of them earned. Straw dropped the fly ball in right field. Not that I remember, but I remember I got on the bike and I said I'm going to ride the bike till the game's done. And
you did.
I rode the bike till the game was done.
Wow.
As penance.
Hope it wasn't a 14-inning game.
No, it was over pretty quickly. I gave them a good start.
3-0 to Granderson, has already drawn a walk tonight, his 25th of the year. Now it's Torres up in the Mets bullpen. But it looks like DeGrom will start the 8th inning. Luis Garcia has retired the first 2, but he's behind Granderson 3-0. And Curtis takes a rip. Loves that 3-0 swing. Now 3-2.
No, this is almost against how you play baseball, but I love DeGrom making an out. Don't get him on the bases, just get him back in the dugout, ready to maybe get through 8 again.
That would be something, wouldn't it? 15 straight scoreless innings now for Jake. And Granderson floats one to the right, and that'll fall for a base hit. So the Mets have their 6th hit of the night. A 2-out single for Granderson. He's on base for the 2nd time.
Fastball, inner half, belt high. Take advantage of those. One a day keeps the doctor away. Curtis been on a gradual uphill rise in his batting average coming into the game in the 240s. Remember, he got off to the bad start.
Here's Lagares, 0 for 2 in a walk tonight. 0 for 6 in this series.
Guy takes forever to deliver the ball to the plate. I'm sure Tom Goodwin, the first base coach, relaying that to Granderson. Great time in the game here in the 7th inning to try to steal a run, a 2-out run.
Granderson with 3 steals and 4 tries this year. The ball and a strike to Lagares.
The reason I say that, the worst thing that can happen is you get thrown out and Lagares leads off the 8th.
It's the slider in for a strike, 1-2.
Couldn't pull the trigger there. That's what we used to call that, the curveball that stays on the inner half. And boy, if you just keep that shoulder in like Juan did, he just didn't swing. It's called, I just didn't pull the trigger. Don't take it literally.
There goes Granderson, and it goes to the backstop. Granderson will hold at second with his 4th stolen base of the year.
Well, in this count, you know that the pitcher's going to throw a breaking ball. It's the perfect time to run. Now you have your chance to steal a 2-out run.
Runner in scoring position for Lagares with 2 out. And he taps one slowly. Garcia off the mound makes the play to end the inning. A hit and 1 left. Jacob deGrom going back to the mound for the 8th, leading 3-0. Fans will receive a Mets beach towel courtesy of Pepsi. For tickets, visit Mets.com/beach towel. Those are the last 2 starts for Jacob deGrom.
Wow.
Just phenomenal.
Yes, they are. And no walks, my goodness.
Odubel Herrera leads off in the 8th inning. 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out and into a fielder's choice, and he takes a slider for a strike. Herrera, Ruiz in the pitcher spot, 7, 8, and 9 for the Phillies. Rob trying to get through 8 innings for the 2nd straight start. He's never had a complete game, and he won't get one tonight. Out to left field, and Kadire retreating. 1 away. Let's check in with the studio. Chris Carlin has a game break. Brought to you by Ford. Chris?
Good.
Fascinating series, right, with the old Las Vegas teammates and opponents. Bryce Harper and Chris Bryant getting together in that series.
Harper, the younger of the 2 by 10 months. How about thinking you popped it up, breaking your bat, and then running around the bases?
He hasn't played at Wrigley Field that often. Wind must be blowing out. They had a big rainstorm there earlier. They had the tarp on the field and didn't look like they were going to play.
17 home runs. Boys, Harper been like MVP numbers.
Yeah.
Yep.
He has been the reason why that Nationals team, he's gotten big home runs. It's the reason for the turnaround.
Line past deGrom and into center field, and Carlos Ruiz has the Phillies' 5th hit of the night. We'll see whether that's all for deGrom or if he gets to continue on.
0-2 hit there given up by deGrom. Maybe one of his few mistakes tonight.
Robles joins Alex Torres in the bullpen. Looks like DeGrom gets to stick around a little longer. Cesar Hernandez is going to be the pinch hitter. Hernandez pinch hit last night for the Phillies and struck out. That was against Hansel Robles.
Well, the one thing we see today is not a whole lot of a lot of teams have a strong bench. A lot of El Stinko benches.
Line over short. Back-to-back hits for the Phillies as Cesar Hernandez comes through as a pinch hitter, reacting to Keith's characterization.
Take that, young man.
No El Stinko there. Now the tying run is going to come to bat for the Phillies with Ben Revere coming up. Not a power threat, but nonetheless, DeGrom finds himself in trouble here in the 8th. Do you make the move?
Boy, he was undecided, Terry Collins. Not now.
Wanted to make sure somebody was ready. I'm not sure which one he wants. Torres not being a situational lefty, you don't automatically go to him against Revere. So let's see who he wants. It's going to be Robles. Another tremendous night for DeGrom. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Verizon. But he leaves with 2 runners on base and hands it off to Hansel Robles to face Ben Revere. Robles got 2 outs yesterday and now in to face Revere, who is over 1 for 3 tonight.
First pitch yesterday went to the backstop. Not today. A little slider. Herited runners stranded 5 of 6. You like to see that number.
This is the first time the Phillies have had a runner in scoring position all night. That's how dominant DeGrom was. And Revere smacks one toward the gap in right center field, and that's an extra base hit going to the wall. Ruiz scores. Hernandez heading home. Trying for third, Revere. He has a 2-run triple. It's now a 3-2 game, and the tying run is in scoring position with 1 out. Revere's 4th triple of the year. That leads the league. And just like that, this game turns enormously.
Well, when you got a reliever coming in with men on base, I was always you want to get that first pitch fastball. If they got to come in wanting to throw a strike, particularly a young reliever with the game on the line. So there's no doubt about this. These guys can fly.
So DeGrom's night, but has a big crimp put in it. Now the infield comes in. Freddie Galvis fouls back the first pitch fastball. Squeeze play not out of the realm of possibility here, with Galvis at the plate and Revere at third.
Also that little safety squeeze we've seen used against the Mets before, where you bunt it up the first base line and the runner on third reads it.
See Campbell paying a little attention to Revere. That's smack toward the middle, a base hit, and the game is tied. Revere comes in to score. Freddie Galvis with an RBI single. In the course of 4 pitches by Hansel Robles, the Phillies scored 3 and tied up.
Wow. Well, good hitting right there.
So DeGrom's fine effort is ruined. Now the Phillies have the go-ahead run on base. Robles will leave. Alex Torres will come in to face Utley and Howard. 3-3 in the 8th. We'll be right back. Here in the 8th inning, the Phillies have scored 3 runs on 4 hits against DeGrom and Robles, and now it's a tie ball game.
Well, Torres did a nice job last night. Walked one of the hitters he faced, but got 4 real tough outs in the middle of the game.
Asking a lot of him to come back after working an inning in the 3rd the night before. So DeGrom winds up with a no decision, 7 1/3, 2 runs, 6 hits, no walks, 9 strikeouts. Hansel Robles faces 2 batters, gives up 2 hits. And now Chase Utley stands in with the go-ahead run at first. A fast man in Galvis, who has 5 steals this year. Utley is 1 for 3 tonight, and Torres checks in on Galvis. Ken Giles gets up in the Philly bullpen. He's been their 8th inning man, setting up Jonathan Papelbon. Sails his first one very high.
That was a good job by Plawecki to get up and catch that fastball.
Ryan Howard looming on deck. Has gone from a celebration for DeGrom to a nail biter in record time. Utley cracks a base hit. Galvi's racing around second. He'll easily go to third. And now the Phillies have the go-ahead run at third base with 1 out. 5 hits in the inning. That bullpen has faced 3 batters, giving up 3 hits.
1-0 count. Little fastball. Tried to throw a cutter, it looked like, Ron, a little bit. Didn't do much. Utley keeps that shoulder in. Situational hitting, looking for a ball to pull. Set up first and third.
Whatever book the Mets pitchers have on Utley, they should burn it. It's not working.
Carlos Torres quickly to work in the Mets bullpen. Ryan Howard, though, is coming up, and Alex Torres will be about to face him.
Boy, Torres almost a forgotten man out there, right? Carlos Torres.
Yesterday, Torres struck out Howard on a changeup away. Interesting to see if Howard tries to go that way to left field. He's got enough power to hit it that way.
Well, the Mets are not going to put a shift on against Howard here with the double play in order.
You can't play Flores up the middle, though, Gary, and that's what he's shifting right now.
Torres' best pitch is a changeup, which more apt to get pulled.
But you got to be careful here if you're Flores, a pitcher following through. You don't want him blocking your view. See the shortstop up the middle.
Howard's 0 for 3 tonight. Struck out his last 2 at bats against DeGrom. He goes after the high fastball. 0-1.
Yeah, that's a good pitch. That's an Achilles heel for Howard. If you can stay in that spot, stay in that spot.
At times over the last couple of years, the Mets have done a really good job of that. At times, though, they've gotten away from it.
That's where he's blind.
Ball and strike to Howard. Right hand batting Maikel Franco is on deck. Carlos Torres getting ready for him. Phillies were stymied for 7 innings by DeGrom. They're 5 for 6 in this inning. And now it's 1-2 to Howard.
Now you have to read the bat there if you're the pitcher. That fastball was by him. You cannot come back with a changeup or a slider for a strike. You can throw him for a ball, but see how that ball's by him? So you don't want to speed up his bat with a slider or a changeup in the strike zone. You can bounce it, which is tough for the guy on third, but you cannot throw one in the strike zone.
One-two coming to Howard. Strike 3 call. Got him looking at a fastball for the second out. A big strikeout for Alex Torres.
Can't be called out on a strike here, not swinging the bat. This is a good strike. It's got plenty of plate. It's knee high. Yes, knees.
So Alex Torres gets a huge second out to pin that go-ahead run at third. And now it'll be on Carlos Torres to try and get the third out of the inning as he'll come in to face Maikel Franco. So another pitching change for the Mets. 3-3 game in the 8th. We'll be right back to Citi Field. Out of the 8th.
Well, inherited runners stranded 9 of 9. They need that today, the Mets.
Torres last pitch Saturday in Pittsburgh worked a scoreless inning. They'll come in to face Mikel Franco, who's gone 0 for 3 tonight, 0 for 7 in this series. Phillies have the go-ahead run at third in Galvis. Utley's on first with 2 out. 3 runs home in the inning. Torres misses up and in. Franco, the 8th man to bat in the inning. Grady Sizemore would be next.
Galvis is coming way down that third base line.
Campbell playing deep behind him. And the cutter off the plate. 2-0. Toward the hole, base hit, and the Phillies take the lead. Galvis in to score the go-ahead run. Mikel Franco with his first hit in the series puts Philadelphia in front 4-3.
What an inning for the Phillies here. Slider that didn't slide, Ronnie, just kind of up and inner half.
Remember, Franco just missed that slider from DeGrom in his previous at-bat. Did not miss this one.
3 Met relievers have faced 5 batters and given up 4 hits. That bullpen came in with a May ERA of 2.08. That is blown up. Here's Sizemore, the 9th man up in the inning. 2 out and 2 on. 4 runs are home. And Grady takes a strike. Sizemore 1 for 3 tonight, singled against DeGrom back in the 5th. Well, Jacob left this game with a shutout intact. He wound up with 2 runs charged to him. The other 2 in this inning charged to Hansel Robles. First Met starter since Doc. 20 strikeouts and no walks in 2 straight starts. It matters little.
Those are the 2 starts that put Doc over Herb's score.
Back-to-back 16 strikeout game. Utley at second, Franco at first with 2 out. Torres ahead 0-2 on Sizemore.
Ninth batter in the inning for the Phils.
Odubel Herrera led off the inning with a routine fly ball to left, and it's all fallen apart since then. Ruiz got it started with a hit. The pinch hitter Cesar Hernandez, not Stinko. Ben Revere a 2-run triple. Galvis singled home the tying run. And Utley singled, and Franco singled in the go-ahead run. 4 runs and 6 hits in the inning for the Phillies, who had not even had a runner in scoring position through the first 7. Two on, 2 out, 2-2 to Grady Sizemore, and he fouls back the fastball.
Sandberg's team, despite its record, got some fight in it.
And also, when you look back in this game, all of a sudden you have to talk about Jerome Williams and how good a job he did keeping his team in the game. Had the 1 bad inning, but was able to stay upright the rest of the time through 6, and the Phillies have fought back to get him off the hook. 2-2. Bounce back to Torres. Inning finally comes to an end, but 9 Phillies come to bat. A nightmare inning for the Mets bullpen as the Phillies score 4. Mets down a run going to the bottom of the 8th. of Mets news and opinion, featuring game breakdowns, special features, and player profiles. Mets blog, presented by Citi, part of the SNY.TV blog network. Double switch for the Phillies. Jeff Francoeur comes in to play right field. He'll bat ninth. And the new pitcher for the Phillies is Ken Giles.
Well, his numbers are pretty good. He's walked a lot of hitters, but he's the heir apparent when Papelbon's done that he's going to be the closer.
Lucas Duda leads off the last of the eighth, with the Mets now down a run. Duda 1 for 3 tonight, and Giles skips a slider in there for ball 1. It's not been as dominating a year for Giles. Last year in his rookie season, his whip was 0.79. This year, 1.40. So he's given up a lot more base runners this year than he did last. And he's behind on Duda 2-0 with Murphy and Kadire to follow. There's your Verizon Mets box score. Mets got all 3 runs in the 3rd inning. Michael Kadire drove in a pair of them. He has a 2-hit game. So does Kevin Plawecki. That's with 3 runs and 6 hits tonight. Giles behind 2-0, and he sails a fastball high, and it's 3-0 to Duda. Jerry's Familia hoping the Mets can at least tie it before we get to the 9th. 3-0 to Duda, and he takes a strike.
Sometimes when you take the starters out of some of these games, it doesn't even look like the same sport. A new sport starts.
Giles, 24 years old, in his 2nd major league season. And Duda swings at a high fastball, 3-2.
Big home run cut there. Uppercut, balls up.
Full count to Lucas. Fouls off the fastball.
Just missed that one. Giles' first 2 pitches when he came in didn't have the mustard on it, but I tell you what, he's cut loose the last 3. He's got some giddy up on it.
And he missed inside, ball 4. And Duda's on with a walk to start the 8th. So the Mets have the tying run on base with nobody out. Now Murphy, who's 0 for 2 in a walk tonight. Howard holds against Duda. And Murphy cracks one down the line. Fair ball going to the corner. Duda on his way to 3rd. Francoeur has trouble digging it out. Duda's going to be held, though, at 3rd base. Murphy pulls it with a double. And the Mets have the tying and go-ahead runs in scoring position with nobody out.
First ball, fastball hitting. Got a power pitcher out there. Murph red hot. Big clutch double right there. Anybody else but Duda is going to score on that double, and couple wisely. You don't want to run yourself out of an inning.
And by the way, anybody else but Francoeur in right field, he would have scored. What a play. I mean, this takes a bad carom off the wall.
Frenchie almost fell down.
Yeah. But look, he's got that arm, and he hits the cut-off man. And good job by Tuffle. No reason to send him there. Precisely.
Bob McClure on his way out to the mound. Phillies are going to get some action going into the bullpen behind Giles. Michael Kadire already has 2 hits and 2 RBIs in this game coming up. So after the Mets got shocked in the top of the inning, they now are poised to try and tie or take the lead again. Jonathan Papelbon trying to get ready in a hurry for the Phils as Familia loosens up for the Mets.
Well, this is one of those games where Kadire can have a super night.
See if he attacks first pitch. So do you look in or do you look away?
Can't look in off this guy. It's going to be a fastball or slider away.
My feeling is a base hit puts you ahead. You're going up the middle.
Phillies are playing their infield halfway. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at second. Cuddyer has had base hits to left field his last 2 at bats. He goes after the high slider and misses. 0-1.
Boy, he got a hanger right there and swung under it. Big rip. See, that ball was on a tee earlier.
And it was again. Duda at third, Murphy at second, nobody out. And Cuddyer just got a piece of that slider, and now he's in a 2-strike hole. So the one thing Giles needs is a strikeout. The one must to avoid for Cuddyer.
That was a good slider there.
First one he's thrown.
Wilmer Flores on deck. He's hit the ball hard all night to no avail. Giles trying to buckle down after a walk and a double. And Cuddyer takes another slider that hung up and in. 1-2. So 3 straight breaking balls from Giles to the right-hand batter. Phillies got to the Mets bullpen. Mets trying to return the favor. 1-2. Fouled back yet another slider.
Well, he's had two sliders to rip. This one he's right on, just under it.
A base hit to the outfield, and the Mets could take the lead. And he got that infield drawn in halfway. 1-2 to Cuddyer. Bounce foul.
Guy who throws 98 miles an hour, not one fastball. And this at bat to Cuddyer.
5 pitches deep.
You got to throw one fastball neck high up in the strike zone just to show him something different.
Oh, another one.
6 pitches, 6 sliders.
Got a guy that throws 97 miles an hour, and he wants to throw little hanging slide balls and flat.
Got a really experienced signal caller behind the plate in Carlos Ruiz. And there's a fastball, but it's out of the strike zone. 2-2.
Ruiz has got to calm down his young reliever. Giles is all about emotion out there, getting the ball and throwing it as hard as he can. That's where the veteran backstop helps.
Veteran hitter at the plate trying to establish his season. He's 3 for 5 in this series, including a long home run yesterday. 8th pitch of the at bat coming. Way up high, 3-2.
Boy, oh boy, is he overthrowing Ronnie.
Well, this is 2 straight fastballs, head high, not even close. You'll see the 3-2 breaking ball.
Papelbon getting ready as fast as he can. Would they ask him to try to get 6 outs? Yeah, it's a tough road, especially in this spot. 3-2 to Cuddyer. Struck him out with a high fastball. No, that's the best pitch he threw in the entire at bat, and he gets Cuddyer for the first out.
Up and in, and it wasn't a strike. Tough to lay off, and he wanted away.
Well, I was completely wrong. I thought he'd go to 3-2 breaking ball. He just threw it right by him.
Now it's Flores, who's 0 for 3, 3 line drives, 2 of them hit hard. You got Campbell on deck. Well, now it's actually Daryl Siciliani on deck to bat for Campbell. So Giles, after giving up a walk and a double, has to sweat hard to strike out Cuddyer. Now Flores.
Mets had a 2nd and 3rd situation in Pittsburgh when you guys were there. Same deal, right, against Liriano?
It was in the 2nd inning of that game when the Mets
struck out
3 in a row. Well, Flores has been making consistent contact. This was yesterday. Nice bat flip. 3-run homer. Untied it. And the Mets never looked back. Now Flores looking for a hit that would give the Mets the lead, or at least a fly ball that would tie it.
Oh,
back, another hanging slider, 1-1.
Good rip. I tell you what, Giles is just flirting with danger with these hang pieces. Oh my goodness. He is just really overthrowing, huh, Ron?
He's throwing that slider so hard, it's not giving it a chance to break.
His 20th pitch of the inning coming up. And tight to Flores, 2-1.
As a hitter, you want to get this ball in the air, but really you want to hit it to center or left. No arms there. Infield arm in center, no arm in left field. Right field is the danger zone. Best arm, one of the best arms in the game.
2-1 to Flores. And Wilmer takes high, 3-1. Well, if he walks him, then you got Siciliani, a left-hand hitter and a fast man who would be tough to double up. Coming up next. He is the only, well, not the only left-hand bat. The Mets also have the switch hitter Danny Muno on the bench. The two closers merely onlookers. Giles behind 3-1. And Flores goes after a high fastball, 3-2.
So Wilmer has to stay disciplined. He's 23 years of age. He likes the ball down. It's a 3-1 count. Look into your area and not a little tiny box. Cover the whole plate. Down. Belton down.
Cuddyer down on strikes. Now it's 3-2 to Flores with 1 out.
Oh,
fouls off the slider.
That's good battling right there by Wilmer. Stayed in on that breaking ball. 2-strike hitting, you got to bear down. Oh, he's just throwing flat sliders up there.
Duda at third, Murphy at second with 1 out, and Ruiz is going to go out for another conversation with Giles.
I don't. You agree with this, Ron? In a situation where I know you got an open base, you got a pitcher out there struggling, and you're going to upset his
rhythm if
he has any at all.
I think he's just trying to say to him, you got Cuddyer on a high fastball, 3-2. Why not try it again?
Just had Flores go after a 3-1 fastball out of the zone high. 3-2 to Wilmer.
Golf's run to center field. Overcomes Herrera to grab it. Tagging is Duda. He's heading home. The throw is coming in. It's cut off. Over to third goes Murphy. And the Mets have tied the game. Wilmer Flores with a sacrifice fly, and it's 4-4.
Excellent at bat, Wilmer. He stayed tough with 2 strikes, Gary. Watch his shoulder. That's where he likes the ball. No intention. That ball's down the middle. That's a ball he likes to golf out of the ballpark and pull. But the situation didn't call for it. He had 2 strikes. He's going up the middle. That could have very easily been a gapper, but they had him positioned pretty in the opposite field. Nice hitting.
Sometimes the young shall lead. He really cut down on his swing, didn't he?
Now
Beautiful.
Siciliani batting for Campbell with the go-ahead run at third. Siciliani had an infield hit as a pinch hitter against Michael Wacha in his first big league at bat. He'd settle for that here. Murphy at third and 2 out. And Siciliani fouls back the fastball, 1-1. Kevin Plawecki, who already has a couple of hits tonight, would be next. A walk to Duda, a double by Murphy, a sacrifice fly for Flores, and the Mets able to get back even. Siciliani nubs one, tough play. Franco bare hands, and Siciliani's out.
Oh!
Tremendous play by Maikel Franco, the rookie third baseman, to keep the game tied.
What a play.
And he got him. He was out. Good call by the first base umpire, Vic Carapazza. Thought for sure after that ball was nubbed that Siciliani would beat it, but Franco is better. Mets get a run, but Franco's play keeps the Mets from taking the lead. 4-4 going to the ninth. Game 6, a complete game breakdown of tomorrow's Mets-Phillies game here in Queens on Loudmouth tomorrow at 5:30 only on SNY.
I can't tell you what a nice, there's Danny Muno in at third base. A little flip flop of the lineup. He'll bat ninth, and Familia comes in, Ronnie, for his 23rd game.
Tie game, you bring in your closer in the ninth.
Odubel Herrera leads off the ninth inning for the Phillies, who scored all 4 of their runs in the 8th to take a brief lead. Stepping in the bucket, he takes a strike, 0-1. Herrera 0 for 3 tonight, 0 for 7 in the series. Carlos Ruiz on deck, then Jeff Francoeur hitting in the 9th spot for the Phils, who picked up 4 runs on 6 hits against 4 Met pitchers in that 8th inning.
I cannot emphasize enough what a wonderful at bat Flores had, his last at bat to tie the ball game. You don't see a lot of good 2-strike hitting anymore, and that was just wonderful. He bore down and really was a tough out.
2-1 to Herrera. Familia pitched yesterday, picked up his 14th save. Faced 4 batters because he struck out a batter who reached on Anthony Recker's throwing error. And now he's behind on Herrera, 3-1. That bullpen tonight has not shown its best colors. Robles and the 2 Torreses. And now Familia issues a leadoff walk. This is very unfamiliar. Met relievers have now faced 7 batters and retired 2 of them. Jomar Gomez is up in the Philly bullpen. If the Phils get a lead, they'll get Jonathan Papelbon up. He was up in the last inning as well. So now Ruiz, would he be asked to bunt?
No, he might hit and run with him. He's a guy capable of hitting and running. I know it's a lost art.
Herrera, good speed at first, 6 steals and 7 tries. Got a nice lead at first base, and he's going. First pitch.
Hit and
the
run.
throw by Plawecki, right on the money, and he got him! Kevin Plawecki. 1 out.
They're going to check that. Perfect throw. Hit and run. He's out.
And the Phillies are not going to challenge.
Perfect throw. If that throws up in Murph's eyes, that's enough time for him to get the longer time to get his glove down and make the tag. He's safe.
Got him around the helmet.
Perfect throw.
So 1 out and nobody on. A 1-strike count to Ruiz. And a nasty sinker, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, you can't try to hit that sinker. That sinker's too wicked. When you're a right-hand hitter, look at this. That's a little tough.
Like a left-handed slider.
Quick pitch in the dirt with a slider.
You know, guys, our reports were that Milwaukee did not have a lot of arm strength, but you know what he has? Great, quick release. He's accurate, and he gets rid of it quickly. That's how he makes up for it.
Well, that was as important a throw as he's made in his brief Mets career. One-two from Familia. Toward the middle of the diamond. Flores won't get to it. And Ruiz has a 1-out hit.
Good hitting by Ruiz. 2 strikes behind the count.
So 1 out and 1 on, and now Jeff Francoeur will come to bat. Francoeur 0 for 2 in yesterday's game. Still a dangerous hitter. 3 home runs this year.
Oh, you make a mistake, you'll be rubbing up a new one.
Ruiz no threat to run, and Francoeur takes his mighty hack. 0-1. He knows nothing but all out with this swing.
Yeah, but he couldn't catch up to this one. Threw it by him.
Francoeur 1 for 2 in his career against Familia. That one was a home run. 0-2. Ben Revere waiting on deck. He had a huge hit for the Phillies in the 8th. A 2-run triple that got them their first 2 runs. 0-2 from Familia, and Francoeur able to foul that fastball.
Slider called. Don't have to throw it for a strike.
Pop foul.
We've seen some sliders hung in this last 15 minutes.
Well, Giles certainly got away with a ton of them. You don't want to tempt fate very often.
Back the fastball in.
Oh, 0-2 to Francoeur. Hit hard down to third. Muno to Murphy. On to first. Double play. Side retire. 5-4-3.
Nice play by Muno. Stays in front. Quick release. Nice turn by Murph.
Helped by Plawecki's throw. And the Mets double play. Familia gets through the top of the 9th. Still tied. Called upon to pitch the bottom of the ninth tonight.
Boy, it seems when the Mets play the Phillies, Jean-Marc Gomez is in every single game. He's been one of the more reliable receivers, though. Not a strikeout guy, ground ball guy.
Kevin Plawecki, Danny Muno, and Curtis Granderson, the three scheduled hitters for the Mets in the bottom of the ninth. Mets looking for their second walk-off victory of the season. Their only walk-off win came in the 14-inning win against the Cardinals last week. Well, Plawecki's already had a hand in this ninth inning.
Hit and run on the first pitch. Tough pitch for Ruiz to make contact. Nice throw by Plawecki to throw the runner out. Nice double play to end the inning.
Plawecki 2 for 3 today, and he takes the first pitch sinker for a strike. Plawecki had base hits his first 2 times up, both hit up the middle, and then struck out his last time up against Garcia in the 7th. Mets were up 3-0. Phillies scored 4 in the 8th. Mets tied it in the bottom of the 8th. Now the Mets trying to win it in the 9th. And that's off the corner, 1-1.
Like Ron Culpa behind the plate. When he doesn't like the pitch, he'll let you know. Outside.
It's nice that he tells you where it is,
right?
Not just what it is.
Oh, the Lord used to give you the inches.
Doug Harvey.
Yes. Missed by an inch.
No, really? He'd say that?
Oh, yeah. He'd keep his fingers like a little measuring stick.
That's great.
He was a very good umpire.
He was the Lord.
He was one of the best umpires. Called good balls and strikes. So the National League had a lot of very, very, very good umpires back then.
Two and 1 to Plawecki, leading off in the last of the 9th. And the slider off the plate. Now it's 3-1. Well, the leadoff walk got the Mets started in the 8th.
Bob McClure on the phone.
Who's next? Three-1 from Gomez, and Plawecki bounces one down to third. Franco makes the accurate throw. 1 out. Coming up tonight, Geico Sports Night after the post game. Chris Garland will be talking about the Rangers and Alba. Alba
from Sweden also.
Dancing Queen. Waterloo. Take a chance on me.
Oh, that's 3. That's embarrassing.
Elmazar Rujo is up in the Phillies bullpen. Danny Muno up for the first time in the game. Came in defensively in the last inning and started that double play. Muno 1 for 10 to start his big league career. Recently recalled when the Mets sent Johnny Manel back down to AAA. Got a start in yesterday's game. Curtis Granderson, who's capable of ending this 9-1 swing, waiting on deck. Noah Syndergaard pitches the day game tomorrow. Might be needed as a pinch hitter before this one's over. And Muno takes a strike, and it's 1-2. Jean-Marc Gomez, a guy who's not likely to walk you. Muno's built his reputation as being one of those guys who takes a lot of pitches, has a high on base percentage. It's tougher to do at this level. 2-2. And Muno down on strikes for the second out.
Just poured in that fastball inside, tied him up.
Right down the middle. Upstairs. Uppercut.
So 2 out and nobody on. Now Curtis Granderson. Curtis is 1 for 3 and a walk tonight. He's stolen a base. He's scored a run. 5 home runs on the season. Batting here with 2 out and nobody on. And if you're ever going to ask a guy to think about swinging for the fences, this would be a pretty good spot for him.
Got a sinker ball pitcher.
Phillies playing no doubles in the outfield. And they've got the full infield shift on against Granderson as well.
Maybe you hope he tries to come inside like he did against Muno and leaves it over the middle.
Ruiz sets up away. And it misses low. 2-1.
There was a time where if you threw a ball in a tie game late, that you wouldn't be able to get to the clubhouse without the pitching coach and manager all over you. But those days are gone.
Two and one to Granderson. And he hits it in the air to right field. Playable for Francoeur. And we are going to extra innings. A 1-2-3 bottom of the ninth for Jean-Marc Gomez. 4-4 after 9. Reese Familia, who's going to pitch the top of the 10th through 14 pitches and getting through the 9th inning. Now will face the top of the Phillies batting order in the 10th. Ben Revere 2 for 4 and a 2-run triple in the Phillies 4-run 8th inning. And he takes a fastball for a strike. Mets playing just their second extra inning game of the year. They had that 14-inning game against the Cardinals last week. For the Phillies, only their third extra inning game. They're 1-1. Familia has yet to go 2 innings in an appearance this year. The furthest he's gone is an inning and 2/3.
So take him out of the day game tomorrow too, I believe.
Yeah, well, he pitched last night too.
That's what I mean.
One and 2 to Revere.
Revere's had a good game, hasn't he? Base hit to lead off the game, and then that big triple.
The triple was the big blow.
I have a bulletin for you. The Cincinnati Reds have won a ball game. Hasn't happened in almost 2 weeks.
Did Brian Price make all 9 innings?
I don't know.
Okay.
Skip Schumacher doubled in the winning run on the bottom of the 9th. They beat the Rockies 2-1 to snap a 9-game losing streak. Past the mound, Murphy to his right on the backhand. The quick toss to get Revere 1 away. The Cubs rallied to beat the Nats. Chris Bryant hit a tying home run in the 8th. Addison Russell game-winning double in the bottom of the 9th. Cubs 3, Nats 2.
You know, he's being overshadowed, but Mr. Russell's gotten off to a quick start too. At a new position.
Best number 9 hitter in baseball.
Well, you got it. At least in the National League.
Here's Freddie Galvis. Drove in the tying run with a base hit in the 8th. 1 for 4 on the 9th. And he takes a strike. Chase Utley looming on deck. That's a foul ball.
That's a grub arm right there. When you pound one into the turf like that.
Oh, 2.
Good pitch.
That's a good pitch, is right.
Boy, if he ever starts getting that pitch over, game over.
That is a big equalizer right there to lefties. They can't just hover over that outside corner with that sinker.
98 just off the black.
Slider down and in off that fastball. There it is.
Struck him out. Galecki makes the toss. 2 out. First strikeout for Familia and the 11th for Met pitching tonight.
This game's easy when you have a great arm.
Easy. It's easy from up here too.
Right.
Here's that Cubs win we just mentioned. Now Utley with 2 out and nobody on. Utley 2 for 4 tonight. And a base hit in the midst of the Phillies 4-run rally in the 8th. 4 for 7 in this series now. Utley 3 for 6 against Familia.
Utley just dives over that plate, doesn't he? That front shoulder, right shoulder, is almost on the inside corner.
.24 pitches for Familia. That's the most he's thrown in the game this year. And then add in the 22 he threw yesterday. So Goodell and Leathersich ready to go. I don't know how far they go with Familia. If Utley gets on, they take him out and bring in Leathersich to face Howard. Might be hard to stomach. There's a strike, 2-1.
I'd say no, Gary. I think you leave Familia in. You have tomorrow he won't pitch. Thursday you have a day off. So you got your best out there. It gives you another shot.
Phillies bullpen is empty. Gomez will pitch the bottom of the 10th, and unless the Phillies able to score here. And that's away. 3-1 to Utley. Ryan Howard would be next. 2 out and nobody on, but Familia behind Utley 3-1. And Plawecki wants a conversation.
He's saying just run this sinker, make sure you get it away.
Just keep it down and away.
Just don't want anybody, a veteran hitter like Utley, getting anything where you can get the fat of the bat on and try to wrap it around a foul pole. What was that foul pole called, Gary?
You mean the orange one in the corner? Called a foul pole.
You're an instigator.
3-1 coming from Familia to Utley. And he walked him. Second walk given up by Jay Reese. And now Howard will come up with the go-ahead run on base.
Now the interesting part about this is that we talked earlier about Ryan Howard. His strength is down out over the plate. That is Familia's strength. His Achilles heel is that four-seamer up in the strike zone. It'll be interesting to see what Familia decides to do. Stay with his strength or maybe come off it a little bit with a couple of four-seamers.
Mets have the full shift on against Howard, with Muno playing back in shallow right field. Howard 1 for 5 in his career against Familia. Utley at first and 2 out. And the first pitch slider misses. Ball 1.
Nice play by Plawecki. Kind of just threw his body at that baseball. Caught it with his right hip, or blocked it with his right hip.
Now he's swinging right over the top of that.
Well, Howard has always walked a lot in his career, but he also is a guy that fishes. You can expand the strike zone on him.
He's been a hot hitter lately. Maikel Franco would be next. Franco drove in the go-ahead run for the Phillies in the 8th before the Mets tied it in the bottom of the 8th.
That's a good throw over. Utley has one of the best stolen base percentages of all time, and he will time it and try to take it if he can.
Only 1 steal this year. Whereas for the first month and a half of the season, he barely got on base. 2-1 coming, and it's in for a strike. Broke off a slider, 2-2.
4 straight slide balls.
That's what Ronnie was alluding to. When he runs, he almost always makes it. Two and 2 to Ryan Howard. Utley runs, struck him out. Familia fans Howard. Howard has the golden sombrero tonight, and we go to the bottom of the 10th with the Mets and Phillies still tied at 4. Extra Innings on SNY is brought to you by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for offers on their most exciting lineup ever. Shop ChooseNissan.com. Juan Lagares leads off the home 10th against Jean-Marc Gomez and chases a slider. 0-1. Lagares 0 for 3 and a walk tonight. Lagares, Duda, and Murphy as the Mets try and find their way to send the Phillies home again without a win. Mets have beaten the Phillies 18 of the last 23 meetings. Oop. Wouldn't chase that one.
Just a little bit low.
So the Mets extend Familia to 2 innings for the first time this year through 32 pitches on top of 22 last night. And this is the last chance for the Mets to win with Familia in the game. Gomez has now faced 8 batters in the last 2 days and retired them all.
I remember him when he was with Pittsburgh. He was their long man, spot starter with the Pirates. He's come over here and done a nice job with the Phillies.
Two and 1 to Lagares. And one hit to him back up the middle for a base hit. That's how the last of the 10th begins. Winning run at first and nobody out.
Nice hitting by Juan. The fastball down the middle, not trying to do too much. Your leadoff hitter here, your tie ball game, extra innings. You just get the rally started.
So now Duda, who has singled and walked tonight, driven in a run and scored 2. They've got the lefty Araujo up in the bullpen, and it looks like Ryan Sandberg's going to bring him in to face Duda. So Gomez retired the side in order in the 9th, gives up the leadoff hit in the 10th, and now will take his exit, and Araujo will come in. 4-4 in the 10th. We'll be right back. So Ryan Howard comes out and Elvis Araujo comes in to face Lucas Duda.
Well, we watched him in last night's game. As we get into these extra innings, almost all the pitchers from last night are going to be used again tonight.
Well, he got a double play grounder from Duda on a comebacker yesterday. But Lucas is hitting .391 against lefties this year with 4 home runs.
And remember, he hit that ball sharply. That good play by Araujo.
Duda 1 for 3 and a walk. He's driven in a run. He scored 2. Lagares at first and nobody out. Lucas takes inside for ball 1. face Duda and Murphy, who's on deck. Nobody throwing in the Philly bullpen. And he falls behind Lucas 2-0. Not the full shift this time against Duda. With the lefty in the game, they've modified it somewhat. Where Galvis is standing now is right where Duda got his base hit to drive in a run in the third. And he gets tied up.
No.
But he held it in time. 3-0. Well, a walk here would obviously be enormous. It would move the winning run to second base.
You got to put the take on right here.
Yeah, you do. He hasn't even been close with these 3 pitches.
Philly pitchers have already walked 5 tonight. Here's a strike. 3-1.
Pitcher's going to try to repeat that same pitch. Duda can look middle of the plate away.
Lagares at first, nobody out. And Duda takes a strike.
Oh, ball 4.
The ball's down.
Got the call. Thought it was low.
Certainly had plates.
Do you run Lagares? I don't run him. No, I leave him right where he's at. Big hole.
3-2 with nobody out. Not going, and it's inside, ball 4. And now the winning run moves into scoring position. Second time Duda's been walked tonight. And now the Mets with first and second and nobody out, and Daniel Murphy coming up. Murphy's had a rough year against lefties. He's starting to hit everybody. Drilled a double into the right field corner in the 8th inning against Ken Giles.
No, he's going to hit here. Murph's got a good eye. This guy is looking, could be wild as a March hare here.
Last 6 games, Murphy is 10 for 20, and a lot of that against lefties. He's up over 200 against lefties this year. He had been battling down around 160 a week ago.
Well, they don't feel that Murphy's going to bunt, and I agree. He's swinging.
You know what's interesting? Murph tried to fake the bunt after he faked the pickoff. They are not covering, though, that hole between third and short. Wide open for the Murph.
So is the hole between first and second. Now Utley backs away.
Well, you know, we'd be screaming at the bench. We'd be riling at this guy, just saying you got to get him out at home.
If you're afraid, get a dog.
Yes. That one. Ruff's got to get back deeper at first base.
Monaro really having trouble throwing strikes. There's nobody up in the bullpen. You got right-hand hitters to follow, Kadire and Flores. So if this inning continues past Murphy, it'll be the lefty staying in. 1-0 coming. Breaking ball drilled, but foul.
Hanging slide ball. Murph just a little quick.
Murph's on everything, isn't he?
Oh my goodness.
Lagares carrying the winning run at second. Nobody out in the 10th. Murphy lines one the other way, foul.
Murph trying to go coast to coast there on consecutive pitches.
Good idea, just a little tardy. Sometimes Murph lets that ball get a little bit too deep. I know he's one of those advocates.
Michael Kadire on deck. Galvis moving in behind Lagares. 1-2 to Murphy. Now 2-2.
These are the kind of guys that are murder to face, Gary. They throw hard. They're diamonds in the rough. They haven't got a clue what they're doing out there, and so you just got to go up there. Unfortunately, the situation just calls for a base hit.
Murph hasn't had a walk-off RBI since April of 2012. Dribbles that one foul, and he'll get one more. This looked like a routine game for the Mets going into the 8th inning. Jacob deGrom working on a shutout, 3-0 lead. Now trying to pull it out in their final turn. 2-2.
Oh.
Coming in fastball, he's able to foul off.
That Murph stand. It's a tough pitch right here. Look where Ruiz is set up. Outside corner, and this guy throws it up and in. It's just you just gotta go up there, see the ball, and hit it very compact up the middle, because there's no
thinking along with the pitch here, right?
Yes.
7th pitch of the at bat coming from Araujo to Murphy. Ground ball. Utley with the flip. Galvis the turn. 4-6-3 double play. Now 2 out and Lagares on third. Huge double play generated by the Phillies.
Generated by how do you pronounce his name here again? Araujo. Elvis. He got what he needed, the double play. Pitcher's best friend right here.
So another chance for Michael Kadire, who had a golden one in the 8th inning. 2nd and 3rd and nobody out. Unable to handle some hanging sliders from Ken Giles, and he wound up striking out on the 9th pitch. That's what tied the game in that 8th. Now Kadire with a chance to win it with a 2-out hit. And Ruiz knocks down the breaking ball. That ball gets behind him. The game might be over. Eric Goodell getting ready to pitch the 11th if there is one. Michael Kadire's last walk-off RBI, April of 2006. Backdoor breaking ball misses. 2-0. Well, Araujo here has a couple of bases to play with. Wilmer Flores, the on-deck batter, and behind him is the pitcher's spot.
Well, this kid's got a golden arm. He can bring it, that's for sure. He's just no command.
Gets the slider in for a strike. 2-1. John Mayberry with the bat in his hands with the pitcher's spot 2 batters away. Lagares at third and 2 out. 4-4 bottom of the 10th. Up and away. 3-1. Coming to Kadire, and he walked him. Wow, just like he wanted no part of it. 2nd walk in 3 batters for Araujo. Now 1st and 3rd with 2 out, and Flores coming up. Wilmer delivered the tying RBI with a sacrifice fly in the 8th. There's nobody warming up in the Phillies bullpen, but Ryan Sandberg is going to go out and talk to his pitcher, and presumably to the rest of his infield as well.
Well, I think not only is he talking to the infield, but he's also letting the pitcher know. And Chase Utley always has a lot to say during these meetings, by the way, is that you have a guy coming off the bench cold in Mayberry after Flores. Flores is taking some nice at-bats all evening long. So work him careful.
But wouldn't you be really loath to load the bases with a pitcher who has been so inconsistent with his strike zone?
I would. Yes. I would, absolutely.
He's got to go after Flores, and you got to hope he makes his pitches.
Now, Flores hit the ball hard all night.
He's had outstanding at-bats. He's hit 2 line drives, too, Gary. 3 line drives. One's a sacrifice fly. Nothing to show for it.
That sac fly in the 8th tied up the game. Now a chance to win it in the bottom of the 10th. Lagares at third. Cuddyer not being held at first, so he can take that base if he wants it. Take away the force at second base. There goes Cuddyer, and Ruiz barely able to flag that down. Defensive indifference moving Cuddyer to second.
See, I disagree with giving him that base, Gary. I disagree wholeheartedly. You've got a right-hand hitter up. You play behind him or you hold the runner on. You never know. A ball might be in the hole. You need a force out.
Lagares the winning run at third. And Flores lines one over short. Base hit, and the Mets win the ball game. Lagares comes in to score. Wilmer Flores with a walk-off hit, and the Mets beat the Phillies 5-4 in 10.